97.3 The Fan.
Hello and welcome into the Skraby Show for Monday, March 25th. Thank you to everyone who is joining me right now. If you want to watch the show, you can on YouTube. Just search 97.3 The Fan. You'll see the Skraby Show live show pop up right there. Also, if you would like to listen on the Odyssey app, just follow the Skraby Show there as well. We're also on Facebook, and we're on Twitch, and we're on X, 97.3 The Fan SD. Welsh Fryer is here at 1 a.m. He is very pumped up about this game today. And it does feel like an actual Padres regular season game tonight with them being at Petco Park. I'm also watching MLB Network right now, and I'm seeing the Rangers and the Red Sox play. So we are right there, everyone. We have made it through the entire waiting period that we, thought was never going to end. Because once it goes to spring training, it's like, for me, I just want the season to start. Spring training is a slow burn. And once you get into the season, everything is a much, much better time, I think. And so we're going to get to see. We're going to get to see what the Padres can do tonight. It's kind of weird, again, because they've already played their first two games of the season, so they do have a record and all that stuff. But, doesn't matter. They're going to go back to some spring training games. I'm going to stop complaining about it. Chris complained enough about it earlier. Lineup for tonight. We do have a lineup to announce on the Skraby Show, which I am very excited that I can do this from time to time. And so I will play my sounder. And Xander Bogaerts leading off at second base. Fernando Tatis Jr. playing right field, batting second. Jake Cronenworth playing first, batting third. Manny Machado DHing, batting fourth. Ha-Seong Kim playing shortstop, batting fifth. Jurickson Profar left field, batting sixth. Seventh is Luis Campisano. Catching eighth is Tyler Wade. Third base, and Jackson Merrill plays center field, batting ninth. Dylan Cease tonight on the mound for the Padres. I'm looking forward to seeing that. I mean, we got to see him in that one exhibition game right after he joined the team, and it was a very brief outing. So we'll see what Dylan Cease has to do today, or what he can do today against the Mariners. But it should be fun. So stay right here. Right after the Skraby Show, because Jesse and Tony will be taking over. Cameron says, is there a stream to watch tonight? I'm sorry. Again, I am a radio guy. Maybe a stream for the game? I'm not sure. You let me know, Cameron. But I don't know about TV or anything like that. Let's do the roll call. Welsh Fryer's here. Jacob's here. Castro's here. Dan's here. Dominic's here. Maria's here. Annabelle's here. NY Mike 8 is here. Trevor is here. I think I said Dan already. Cameron is here. Patrick and Annie are here. So there you go. There you go. The Skraby lineup. I don't know what the Skraby lineup is. I've been playing a lot of MLB The Show here recently, ever since I got it and it got activated and all that. And I'm not good. I'm still not good. It is very hard to play that game. And I'm trying not to put it on like the rookie level so that I feel like I'm good and then I actually play someone and they're way better than me. But I just cannot figure out how to pitch in this game. I think I may need to change the pitching style from like the gestures thing to like something way easier. But wow, am I bad. Wow, am I bad. Cameron says, yes, stream for the game. Not tonight, but I am working on something possibly for this season where that's all I'm going to say because I don't want to promise anything, but I am working on something this season where maybe we can hang out during a game. Jose is here and Cell is here. Hello, everyone. Hello. All right. So we got some jam-packed show going on right now. We have to talk about the news of the day, which includes Shohei Otani, Padres tonight, which we just kind of covered. Also, the Aztecs onto the Sweet 16. And then before we get out of here, I want to quickly talk about Domingo Germán and his comments to the media in Pittsburgh about about what happened in New York last year and why he was removed from the team and why the Yankees made him go to rehab for alcohol addiction. Now, I'm not going to say that he's an alcoholic because he does not say he's an alcoholic, but I think I have, some interesting, maybe, hopefully, thoughts on what he's going through right now because, believe me, I have been in his shoes many, many, many times. All right. Times, I should say. All right. With that said, let's get into our news of the day, but I guess I should be ready for that when I call for it. But there it is.
It's time to get caught up on the latest with the news of the day.
Oh, Welsh Fryer says he wants to hang out in September. Welsh Fryer, let's keep in touch. All right. News of the day. Aztecs are on to the Sweet 16, which is pretty amazing because considering where we were heading into the tournament as Aztec fans, we weren't so sure about the finishing power of this team. But right now, Aztecs are playing great basketball. They played Yale. They crushed Yale. They played UAB. They didn't necessarily crush UAB, but they had control of most of that game. I feel like when Jaden Ledee, I played it here on this very show, but Jaden Ledee said after the win in the Mountain West tournament, the first game, he said, "This is March. This is what we do." And that's awesome. Like, because he called it, and they're playing really well, and they're playing great in March. And they're playing UConn on Thursday. So we have a whole big day planned here on 97.3 The Fan. We're going to have opening day, so you can tune in here for all of that. Jesse and Tony calling the game, Sam Levitt doing pre and post game. Also, we're going to be broadcasting from Baja Rick's Cantina down in downtown San Diego before the game. So 6 to 10 a.m., Ben and Woods. And you got Annie and Nelson from 10 a.m. to noon. So make sure you stop by Baja Rick's Cantina for that reason, to see them broadcast. Also, support our guy, Baja Rick. But after the game, it's going to be a post-game show with Chris and I, and we are going to go all the way until 8 p.m. because we want to talk about the Aztecs game, and hopefully they win, and we can have a good old night here on Thursday night on 97.3 The Fan. But really what I think is a good thing for the Aztecs in this whole thing, they've already played UConn. They're not, I don't think, as scared of UConn as some of the other teams around the NCAA tournament would be. UConn is a different team, obviously, than last year, and so are the Aztecs. The Aztecs lost a lot of players. But what the Aztecs do have are guys that played last year through everything and went to the national championship, and there are guys with experience now. They know how to handle this stuff. And if there is a team that they need to play, I think UConn's a good matchup for them. UConn's very, very, very good. But in terms of maybe winning before you even play the game because of what the media says, the media is going to give San Diego State no shot. But I do believe that they can do some good things against UConn. And I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility that they win. They're going to have to play perfect. They're going to have to shoot like they did last night. And they're going to have to just give Jaden Ledee the ball as much as they possibly can, which is what they already do. Dominic agrees with me. They shoot like they did last night, and they can definitely win on Thursday. I am with you there. Jose says, have you seen Gallagher Square yet? I only saw the Gallagher Square pictures from Tony when he opened it. So I'm planning on checking that out either Thursday or Friday, or the first time I'm at the park. I hope it's Thursday, but things get a little crazy on opening day. So Aztecs on to the Sweet 16. And another thing, how lucky are we to have Brian Dutcher in this town? And how lucky are we that Brian Dutcher wants to be a San Diego State Aztec head coach for as long as possible? I think his name's Wayne Sprinkle. I'm pretty sure his name's not Wayne, actually. His last name is Sprinkle. I can remember that. But he is going to be moving on to Washington and leaving Utah State. And Brian Dutcher just signed an extension with the Aztecs. He's not going anywhere. So we can feel very good about this program and where it's heading. And the Aztecs keep carrying the Mountain West. They keep carrying the Mountain West in a way that no other conference has a team doing. The Aztecs are the only Mountain West team left. All the other teams lost in the first round. I guess the first four, whatever. All the other teams lost. So the Mountain West only has San Diego State left. And as Sean Paul said earlier, they're carrying the Mountain West as they have been for years and years and years. All right, the second news story of the day, the Padres played tonight. Dylan Cease starts for the Padres. We've already been over that, but the Peter Seidler celebration of life that was Saturday, I wasn't able to go. I had some planned stuff on Saturday. Saturday is usually actually my AA day in the morning, so I wasn't able to make it to the celebration of life with it moving up and everything like that. But the videos that I've seen, the stuff that I saw shared from our station account, 97.3 The Fan SD, all of it was very, very moving. And what I thought was really funny, and Tony said this earlier on the show, was that AJ Preller kind of went off the cuff, which we're not used to AJ Preller going off the cuff and just kind of talking like a regular guy, because he's always guarded, which a lot of GMs are guarded, so I don't blame him for that. But it was nice to hear some of the stories that he was telling about Peter Seidler and Manny Machado, Joe Musgrove. There are a lot of guys that got up there and said really great things about Peter Seidler. So I'm glad that the celebration of life went off, without a hitch, and the rain held off long enough for everybody to get there and see everything. And I'm really, Peter Seidler is always going to be a part of San Diego. Peter Seidler is always going to be a part of the Padres. And I believe Sammy Lev on X put up a picture of the dugout now for the Padres, where they go get their bats and their helmets and all that stuff. Right there on the wall is the Peter Seidler patch. So every time they go to the plate, they're going to look at that heart and they're going to look at that Peter Seidler emblem, and they're going to remember what they're doing this for. And Tony said it earlier. These guys really were profoundly changed by Peter Seidler and how he handled them and how he is as a human being, or how he was as a human being. And so I think these guys are playing for him this year. Definitely. I can't grow a mustache, but I guess I can grow a mustache, but I don't really look great with a mustache. So as the chat suggested, I'm not going with a mustache. All right, final news story of the day. And it just so happens it's Shohei Otani. It's not like I plan on talking about this all the time, but Shohei Otani is one of the bigger stories in the sports world. And what he said today, he made a statement in front of reporters, but he did not take any questions. And so here's some of the things that he said. And if you want to read a transcript, you can go to @973 the fan SD. Adam put up a transcript of a lot of what Otani said. But he said it's been let me start with this one. He said, I never bet on baseball or any other sports or ask somebody to do that on my behalf. I've never gone through a bookmaker to bet on sports. Up until a few days ago, I didn't know this was happening. In conclusion, Ippei has been stealing money from my account and telling lies. Last weekend in Korea, media reached out to my camp inquiring about my potential involvement in sports betting. Ippei never revealed to me that there was a media inquiry and told my reps in the media that I, on behalf of a friend, paid off his debt. Upon further questioning, it was revealed that Ippei was in debt. All of this has been a complete lie. So Ippei obviously lied about it and didn't tell me about the media inquiry, and has been telling everyone that he's been communicating with me on all of this, and that hasn't been true. So there's a couple things here, which I don't know that Shohei Otani is guilty of. I'm going to say he's not guilty of betting on baseball. I don't know if he's guilty of betting on other things, but I have to say that I just don't get the feeling that he is in this any further than we're seeing right now, because people lie all the time. Addicts and gambling is definitely addiction. You can call them an addict because they are, but you will do anything to protect your secret, which the secret for Ippei was his massive gambling problem, and you will do whatever is possible to not let someone find out about your secret. And so, can I see him completely blindsiding Shohei Otani? Can I see Ippei completely lying about all this? Absolutely, but we're still going to need a little bit more time. Jorge said, hey, Skrabe, checking in from the ballpark. Hello, Jorge. Thank you for watching at the ballpark. Trevor says, I believe Otani is guilty of having bad financial advisors. Yeah, I think you're kind of right there. Dan says, Otani said the exact same thing 5 days ago. Well, he did, but we needed some time to pass and see how all these things fell. All the cards fell, because there's a lot going on here. And as much as I want to just pile on, I'm not going to, because I just don't get that feeling inside that Shohei Otani is telling big lies here. Maybe small lies, but big lies, I just can't say that I believe that he's telling big lies. All right. This is the Skraby Show. I'm Matt Skraby here on 97.3 The Fan. When we get back, we're going to update on some of the other stories of the day, and then we're going to talk about that Domingo Herman, not incident, but his discussions with the Pittsburgh media about what happened with the Yankees and if he has a drinking problem, all that stuff. We have a short Skraby Show today, so I better get the break so I can talk about some of the other stuff on the other side, but stay right with me here on 97.3 The Fan.
Spend
Back here in the Odyssey Palace on 97.3 The Fan. Got a very limited time left with all of you, so I'm going to try to fit it in as quick as I possibly can. But I want to, Jason had a good suggestion on the chat. I didn't talk about this, but we have a new home opener starter for the Padres. Mike Schilt said earlier today, Yu Darvish is going to start Thursday's home opener. Joe Musgrove will start Friday, and then Dylan Cease, the next one, Michael King, and then Matt Waldron. So Joe Musgrove was originally tabbed to start here on Thursday, but they did move it back, and it kind of makes sense because then you can reset your rotation, and Yu Darvish is the number one guy, and then you just get back on track from there. So I don't read anything into this. As long as Joe makes his start on Friday, I don't think there's anything here, but we'll keep an eye on that. Now, Domingo Germán, he was with the Yankees last year, and he was actually removed from the team. So I guess when the day that he got removed from the team, he said it's a dark day for him. He flipped over furniture in the Yankees clubhouse. He couldn't control his temper. His teammates allegedly suspected him to have been drunk during it. But Domingo Germán does not. He didn't say he was drunk that day. He said, I had a few drinks the night before, but I wasn't incoherent the next day. I knew exactly what I was doing that day of the game. Basically, what it goes on to say is the Pirates say that they did their due diligence on finding out where Domingo Germán is in his life right now. And it does sound like, to me, there is some sort of struggle with something. There's something that he hasn't figured out what is bothering him. And I'm not going to go say he's an alcoholic, because no one can say they're an alcoholic in my mind unless you believe you're an alcoholic. But he said this, and this is where my red flags go up. And he said, and to NJ.com, I drink when I want to drink, but I don't have any problem. I can go a month or 2 months without drinking, which that to me is a red flag, because when you have to tell yourself that you don't have a problem, when people are questioning whether you have a problem, I really don't know that you are in the right spot. And he needs a job, which is what the Pirates are providing him. But I hope that the Pirates are actually going to take his best interest to heart, because I don't know that this is the last time we hear about an alcohol incident with Domingo Germán, especially when he says that he doesn't have a problem. He can go 2 months or 2 months without drinking. Yeah, you can go a month or 2 months without drinking, but what happens when you do drink? Do you get out of control and you make a fool of yourself? Do you do something illegal? What happens when you drink? Just because you take 2 months off of drinking doesn't mean that you're cured. I know that very well. I know that I can never, ever drink again. And that's just something I accept. That's something that I'm not mad at. And I know that about myself. Now, did it take me a long time to get there? Absolutely. There were years and years where it was in the back of my head. Do I have a drinking problem? Nah, I'm good. I'm young. I'm a 28-year-old. Yeah, I'm young. But I had a problem. And deep down inside, I knew it. And you know what I told people about me having a problem? No, I don't have a problem, because I can go to work and I can get everything done and I don't have any issues there. And so I really am going to be paying attention to this. And I'm just hoping that the Pirates are there when and if things happen that, go down the tubes for Domingo Germán. It's very sad that the media sat there in front of him and he just said all this. I don't know that he's ready for the season, but we'll see. We'll see. And it's not my choice. So that was a very quick version of that. But I don't know. Junior says, sounds like he might just need to watch the number of drinks he consumes. I think he needs to not drink, because once you start watching your drinks, I think you're in trouble.
What's annoying Skraby today? Let's find out. It's time for the Daily Gripe.
Real quick, to me, alcoholism, because I'm getting this on the chat, to me, alcoholism is something that it's unique to every person. But for me, my alcoholism was that I couldn't function anymore. I had ruined every relationship that I had. I was on my last end with my parents. My brother had just kicked me out. So when it becomes that big of a part of your life and you still continue to drink and still continue to put yourself in that bad spot, I think that's what constitutes alcoholism. When you put the booze and the drink over everything else. And you can become a really good liar to yourself. And I was a very good liar to myself. So there we go. All right. Welsh Fryer says, I stopped drinking when I came to terms it makes me severely depressed. Yes, absolutely. It makes everyone depressed. It's a downer. It's not good. So just keep an eye on it. If you're a normie, which is someone who drinks normally, no big deal. But if you're out there and you're like, oh man, this is all making sense to me, maybe take a look into it. All right, my daily gripe for today, because I am going to be out of here in about 30 seconds, but my daily gripe for today is when you're doing fantasy sports drafts and the auto-drafted team takes up the entire 2 minutes every single time, or at least 2 minutes for us, because that's what our draft timer was. If you're a computer, you already know who you're going to select, so we do not need to go all the way down to 2 minutes. So I had to wait for Chris and his dumb auto-select to go to 2 minutes every single time. Every single time. All right, that's it, everybody. Have a good night. Be back with you tomorrow.
Kia Madness at Team Kia